You know, 2020, my senior year of high school was going absolutely great.
March, I had just gotten my prom dress. It was very exciting. When COVID started happening, we all were just excited to get school off.
Me and a bunch of friends were like, oh, sweet. Just an extra week of spring break, like this is fine.
I just remember everyone joking, saying, like, in our graduation this year, we're gonna wear hazmat suits.
My graduating class was only 20 kids. They brought us into the auditorium on Monday and told us, we're sorry, this is your last day of your senior year of high school.
I missed prom, I missed spring play that we had, graduation, obviously.
I was really bummed about not having graduation. It felt really important to me, more than prom.
That was just like loss of hope, just over and over again.
I felt a lot of anger, a lot of hatred, a lot of fear.
Feels like I never got the ending I thought I was supposed to get.
It's just like not really something that you want to look back on.
We were kind of like, okay, whatever. Like, school is gone, close the yearbook, let's leave college, we're ready for college.
I was even questioning if I should go, not even to the residence hall, just like go at all.
I ended up changing the college I was going to. I stayed closer to home.
Safety-wise, I was like, is this really a smart move?
It was heartbreaking that I had to switch schools. I don't want to put myself in that position to, make myself and my family worry about my health.
At the time, we had to commit if we were gonna room, but some people definitely dropped out to get their own apartments.
I was supposed to go live in a dorm with a random roommate. I'm already 22 or 21 at the beginning of the year, so everyone would have been asking for like drinks and whatever, so I was like, I'm not gonna.
They said you could like pull out any moment, just email them and they will get like rid of your name from the dorms and they won't charge you.
The U especially pushed out their move-in date, so we didn't even know if we were gonna move in.
You'd hear that students moving in, but then they were kicked out due to COVID. And that was like early August. So I was freaking out.
I signed up for a time because they didn't want too many people in, like they didn't want everybody moving in at the same time.
My roommate and I had to talk about when she was going in, when I was going in, so we weren't overlapping.
I had to move in a different time from my roommate because like both of our parents couldn't be there at the same time. That's like really hard to navigate. People are coming from really all over the world.
I think the dorm itself was super empty because like you could just walk in and you could see windows on like from the outside that were just blank the whole year. Like across from me to the right and left, there's no one there.
It was crazy because I had a double to myself.
I was living alone because my roommate decided not to move in, so it was just me.
I expected to meet more friends right away, but that was kind of impossible to do.
Dorm life was so strict with COVID.
We weren't allowed to go into different residence halls, and there was capacities for each dorm room.
It was nobody in your room, go get food, leave the dining hall.
You had to sign up for a time slot to eat, and you could only be there for an hour, and you could only sit with your roommate.
If you had, a certain amount of people in your room, you would get like kind of like a citation, those kinds of things. And then if they kept adding up, like 2 or 3, you'd have meetings, you could get kicked out, which we had a couple people that I knew got kicked out of the dorms. That was just for having like 2 or 3 people over into their room.
Curfew was 9 p.m. We had a curfew.
I think the CAs there, our community advisors, were so strict. We felt kind of suffocated, especially first semester.
It was honestly, in all sense, kind of like you were trapped. They didn't really put rules into place about outdoor areas.
Where I lived was super blocked, so there was 4 dorms right next to each other, and there was a big quad in the middle, and people would come play spike ball and those things. Everyone went out every single night into the quad. We had a curfew by then, so we had to be in our dorms at 9, so everyone would just like flee at like 8:55.
Everyone was excited because like, oh, it's college, we're freshmen. This is a whole different vibe and energy.
We got to, sneak around a little bit, bend the rules a little bit. There was a lot of apartments and off-campus things that you could do.
Parties in general, they were always in apartments. If you want to go to a party, go to the apartments. Anyone nearby.
Do you think a lot of folks from the dorms went to some of the parties?
Oh yeah, without a doubt. Yeah.
If there was a house party, the cops would come and be like, okay, this is not good. Or there would be a lot of messages sent out from the university like, try not to do this.
That's just not something you want to worry about in college.
So it was pretty hard to meet people.
Your friend group was in your dorm, and if you didn't like those friend groups, you had no friends.
I knew I wasn't in the right mindset to make friends. I made a deal with myself to just dive into school and just focus on that for the year.
I didn't really make any friends in the dorms. It was just hard being the only BIPOC student in my hallway.
I had already felt a divide from people my own age. I felt tired. I felt like 50 years old every time I had to speak to people.
First semester felt very isolated. I would wake up, go to class, and then once noon hit, I would go to the dining hall, go get food, bring it to my room, quickly eat it, go to my next class. And then once that was done, I would just do homework for the rest of the day.
All I did was open up my computer, log into class, and I'd sit there and listen.
My roommates even, like, they're more social than I am, and all of us were stuck inside, and I would literally take walks around the house. A lot of people don't even think about how difficult it was to continue your classes and everything, and you're kind of like, I felt like a caged tiger.
It was definitely weird not like just going to class.
The online switch for me, I know my roommates really hated it because they love in person. The way I learned is I'm more of a self-teacher. My learning style was good at, like, kind of compatible with it.
I think professors expected a little more from us because we had the time. They thought we had the time. I strive to do my best, so when I don't get my best, I feel really down about myself. I think with online school, I struggled this year with my STEM classes, so it brought me down a little bit. So I was not happy with myself, and then I felt like I couldn't do pre-med, and all these things were just piling up.
It was December, and then I was like crying in my bed, and I was just so drained. I just wanted everything just like to be ended.
It's so important not to burn out them, but I feel like everyone did.
I hit a point where it was like, does this even matter? Like, do I even care about this enough to exert energy I don't have on it?
It was hard. It for sure was one of the most taxing things on my mental health to just keep going when you didn't want to keep going.
I feel like I didn't really get my years, so I guess my sophomore year will really be like the new, like, it will really be the beginning for me.
I know this upcoming week is homecoming. And I'm hearing there's a concert, there's the parade, there's so many events, and I'm like, wow, I really missed out on all of that because of a pandemic.
The hustle and bustle has come back a little bit. I don't think it's 100%. You actually pass people on the sidewalk. When you go in, like the student union, you see people studying, which seems like a small thing, but yeah, it just feels like we might be returning to some normalcy.
Things are slowly coming back to normal. We just have to be patient.